It's the major questions of humanity that are in neurology. How is the brain working? How does your memory create your sense of self? When does life end? Does it end when the heart stops or when the brain stops? Students are among the best teachers. So I had a student from Turkey who once said to me, Dr. Cummings, I understand that the best neurologist in Turkey knows everything there is to know about neurology. They know every paper published, they know every textbook that is available to them. In your program, the best neurologist is the one who discovers something new. Nothing is more exciting than discovering something that no one ever knew before. You're contributing to the history of human ideas as you discover something new. And we do that every week at the Lou Rouville Center for Brain Health. And then we have to communicate that, because a private discovery is of no value to anyone. You have to communicate it in order that it becomes part of the public knowledge and can be used to advance science generally. My wife, Kate, and I, living happily in Los Angeles, I was a faculty member at UCLA, but I wanted to focus more on clinical trials. We saw that there was an opportunity with Cleveland Clinic to come to Las Vegas to create an enterprise with Larry Rouville that would really help patients by excellent patient care, be terrific for families, because Larry is so committed to making sure that family care is a part of patient care, and then advance new treatments by doing clinical trials. I was very interested in looking at a public database called clinicaltrials.gov, where by law, every clinical trial must be registered. So we looked at the decade from 2002 to 2012 and saw that during that period, only one drug was approved for Alzheimer's disease. Many drugs were tested, so ultimately the failure rate for Alzheimer's disease drug development was 99%. We have to see this as an emergency, something that we all have to respond to. The government has to respond to it. NIH has to respond to it. Companies have to respond to it. We do about 20 clinical trials at a time at the Lou Rouville Center for Brain Health. Most of them are in Alzheimer's disease, although we have two prevention trials, two true prevention trials where people have to be cognitively normal, but they're at high risk for Alzheimer's disease. So we give them drugs or placebo to determine whether that drug prevents the occurrence of Alzheimer's disease. How great is that? There are two pathologies in Alzheimer's disease. There's the plaque and there's the tangle. And in the last year, a new kind of tangle scanning has emerged for the very first time, where we can see whether people have the other pathology of Alzheimer's disease, neurofibrillary tangles. This is completely experimental, and we've just signed contracts with the originator of this new kind of scan to put this kind of scan in two of our clinical research projects at the Lou Rouville Center. I realize at this stage in my career that I'm not going to find the best treatment for Alzheimer's disease. We certainly hope to advance the treatment of Alzheimer's disease, but it's going to be an iterative process where drugs get better and better over time. And we have to have students who are so excited about this science, so excited about helping patients, that they will pick up the baton in this relay race that we're in and take it through that next portion of the race that has to be won against neurodegenerative diseases. I'm not sure whether we're one step away from a cure or 100 steps away from a cure. But what I know is that we have to take the next step and the next step and the next step until we get where we need to be.